Hi Shweta.
Hi, hi Amrit.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, great, excited.
Yes, awesome. A warm welcome to all of you all. We have, yes, you look great. Well, to deliver this session, and I'm sure everyone is looking forward to it. We have with us Anshu, Madhumita, Pooja, Radhika, Razia, and Tanya. Hi, what's up? Guys, please, if you all can, put on the video for some time, and then you all can be off it, just so that we can have pretty faces seen on the screen. We have more registrations and we are expecting a few more to join. So, 3 to 5 minutes max, we'll start.
Sure.
So, guys, let me just tell you, Shweta's profile. Shweta's profile, if you look at on LinkedIn, you'll find a lot of inspiration, a lot of good content, a lot of practices that she does. She follows herself. And beyond that, there's more to it. Uh, she's a mother of two adult boys, a marathon runner, a trekking enthusiast. She has accomplished a feat of scaling Everest base camp. Can you believe it? When I met her first, she told me about it, of doing the Everest base camp and Stok, Kangri, Ladakh, the highest trekkable peak in the Indian subcontinent. So, exam. I was surprised about, how there could be so many more things about a person than what appears to be, than the work that they do. So I'm sure she inspires people in, multiple ways. And with today's session, we are going to focus on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a broad spectrum. It's a huge space to talk about, discuss about. There are a lot of things that go behind doing it correctly. So today's session we are going to focus on how to get your profile right and accomplish all the things that you know the basics that we call of doing the activities on LinkedIn, how to get the basics right. Progressively, with more sessions with Shweta, maybe you can get in touch with Shweta on a one-to-one basis, and you all can take the conversations ahead with her, and definitely she could help you guys set up your LinkedIn presence and dominate. Awesome. So, before I hand over the session to Shweta, once again, I'm requesting all of you all to please come on screen for some time, and then once she starts the session takes over the screen with the deck, you all can put up the cameras. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so much, Madhumita. Nice seeing you all. All right, so quick introduction about the community and the initiatives that we have been doing. We are planning with a lot of more workshops, master classes, and also we are planning for a new initiative which is called as Master RT. Master RT is basically sessions with the industry voices, industry authorities. So people who are they have scaled up their startups and they are it is always a pleasure listening to them that how they built and scaled up things. In the next 24 to 48 hours, we're going to announce the first session, and stay tuned for that. All right, so I think it's about we should start today's session talking about Shweta Ojha. She's a LinkedIn coach and a consultant. She helps professionals, SME business owners, startups, freelancers, trainers, and coaches to build their brands and grow using LinkedIn as a platform. Shweta has educated more than 10,000 individuals, consulted 50 plus professionals on personal branding, LinkedIn profile optimization, and LinkedIn lead generation. She believes, that a personal brand is not created by chance, but through a conscious and consistent effort. And this can be done by implementing tried and tested step-by-step process. A lot of people have asked, the consistency bit and the content creation, how we could do that. So I think uh, she has all the answers, but let's hope that she covers larger ground today because I'm sure this call would never get over if you were to answer all the questions. And as I said, she is a trekking enthusiast. She has done Everest Base Camp, Stok, Kangri, Ladakh, the highest trekkable peak. So there's more to her than LinkedIn, but let's focus on LinkedIn today. So the dice is all yours, Shweta. Please, you can start the session.
Thank you. Welcome, everyone. And thank you, Amrit and Saranjika, for giving me this opportunity. And I hope I'm able to answer as many questions as possible. But since the context here is profile, which is definitely the step one. So let's dive deep into it. And as Amrit mentioned, that if we have hunger for more, we can conduct more sessions going forward. So while Amrit has said that you can switch off your cameras, but मुझे अच्छा लगेगा अगर आप कैमरा पे आ जाएं, because live audience से बेहतर कुछ नहीं है. So very thank you so much, Madhumita. मतलब बोलते ही आ गई आप. So I am very happy. Um, on a scale of 1 to 10, the people in the room, I would want you to rate yourself as far as your LinkedIn presence and knowledge both. How do you rate yourself? 1 being the least and 10 being the best. Be very honest. Nobody's judging. This is a safe space to kind of talk, because I'll get the room, from how basic should I go, or if there are already industry veterans leveraging LinkedIn, so I can then go brilliant. So we have a lukewarm room is what I can give an adjective to, because an average of 5 is what we are seeing here. So I like to work in a space where things are average, because I believe I'm an average person. So I'm more comfortable in that zone. But yes, I do help you excel. So I believe that at least with this particular session, we would be able to go from 5 to 6 or 7 or 8 and maybe even 10. So let's dive right in. Just a moment, let me share the screen. Do I have the rights to share the screen? Brilliant. So that's the beauty, when you work with the digital know-hows, these things are taken care of. Mostly when I have my sessions, I have to struggle, okay, ye ho raha hai, nahi ho raha hai. So one good thing that I observed in the room is most of them, barring a couple of answers, are rating themselves 5, which is that you have a presence on LinkedIn. Unfortunately, I've met many who haven't yet started their journey on LinkedIn, and I feel sorry for them, not just because I'm a LinkedIn coach and consultant, but surely I believe that there can be so much that can be achieved by leveraging this platform. And I'm so glad that you guys are already there. But yes, there are certain small nuances that if we take care of, as far as LinkedIn profile is concerned, there can be, a lot more profile visibility resulting into people connecting with you or translating into organic leads, and so on and so forth. So when I begin this journey, a quick question to the people in the room: what exactly your businesses are? Maybe, in just a word or two. I'm going to not allow you to doze off on a Saturday afternoon. आपसे बहुत सवाल पूछने वाली हूँ मैं. So I am looking out for the chat. Okay. Work-life balance coach, Shweta, I am so much willing to connect with you right now. Artisanal handmade jewelry, such versatile community, Amrit. Customized learning solutions, interesting community building, financial planner. Suranjika, you are a pro, so I'm not even looking at your answers. Graphic designer, suitable clothing label. Brilliant. Real interiors and graphic, HR community. Wow. Wow, rude. So, so there is a mix of people who are offering product, and there is a mix of people who are offering services. So I will try and make it relatable to you both, so that it makes sense for people who are in product and people who are in services. Rima, you've raised your hand. If it is it okay if I take the questions in the end? Will that be okay, so that we can cover a lot more ground? Thank you, Rima. Thank you so much. So maybe some of your questions will be answered as we progress. And if there is a overshoot of 5-10 minutes, I'm sure it'll all be worth it. So I'm just giving a disclaimer, because when I start speaking, मुझे लगता है ये तो बताया ही नहीं, ये तो बताया नहीं. So let us make the most of it. I hope you guys can see the screen. The presentation, brilliant. So the presentation is nothing fancy, but the thing is that we get to control the flow. While we have the hygiene factors taken care, such as website or presence on e-commerce portals, or even company pages on LinkedIn, and wherever your target audience is. For instance, definitely you would get a lot of organic leads if you're more active on Facebook or a Instagram if you're into jewelry. But your professional presence as an entrepreneur, I would personally say that is highly recommended to be you be on LinkedIn. While you are leveraging the other social media platforms to get that reach, your presence on LinkedIn should be considered as your presence in a room full of your target audience, and you are networking with them. So since LinkedIn is a highest largest global networking platform, I refrain from calling it as a social media platform. And I would urge you, going forward in this presentation, please keep that as the context, that LinkedIn is a global networking platform. And I'm sure most of you entrepreneurs would definitely want your presence where you could have like-minded people, possibilities of leads, possibilities of collaborations, and possibilities of presenting yourself to the audience. So that's where I urge all the entrepreneurs that no matter how much you are focusing on building a presence for the company page and the website, etc., you also should simultaneously look at building your own presence as the entrepreneur. So by that I mean focus on your personal profile, because what happens is, fundamentally, on a company page people follow, but on a personal profile people connect. So that's the difference. You will not be able to go further on a company page to reach out to your audience, have conversations with them, understand their pain points and stuff like that, unless and until it's a personal profile. And there's so much more that you can do as an entrepreneur to drive traffic to your company pages and to your relevant social media pages, websites, etc., if you have a strong personal brand. So whether you call it personal brand or professional brand, whatever it is, I truly believe that they are pretty overlapping. I am a professional, but I'm a person first. So I like to call it as a personal brand. And as you see on the screen, and I truly, truly believe, unless and until we have even, Tatas of the world, when they began, people bought them first before they bought the product or service or the idea even. So as you see, prospects interact with you, at least, we have this marketing rule of 7, and most of you must be knowing about it, that prospects interact with you at least 7 times before they buy from you. The prospects can be direct consumers. They can be, if you're in a B2B setup, they can be different business owners. They can be also people who are mediators. So that's the reason I would urge you that if you have not yet given a serious thought about building your personal profile and just keeping it at a very dormant level, or just the profile exists with no presence whatsoever, please start a serious thought about building it up. Now, what you can expect from this session, although it's circulated in the WhatsApp groups, what I'm going to cover here is, rather than just talking about ye aise banao, waise banao, do this, do that, I want you to seriously understand the whys behind it. Why photo should be like this, or why a banner should be like this, or why this, why that. So this is very important, because unless we understand why we are doing what we are doing, we will not be able to give it our 100%. There is a power of 3 C's that I truly believe in, which can, if you focus on these 3 C's, you can really go from the score of 2 to 10 in no time. Best practices, LinkedIn hacks, and do's and don'ts. So profile will take the most piece out here. Now, before I begin, is that okay? Amrit has already talked about what I do in an introduction here. Was it just a 30-second of why this page is there on screen? Will that be okay? Just give me a heads up if that's okay with you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Just 30 seconds. The reason why I'm putting this is, I did my PG in 98 with banking and business finance as my major. And I got married just after my PG. I was a homemaker in the quintessential Marwari setup. I am a Marwari. And just after the marriage, circumstances were such, and I couldn't take the lead in terms of designing my career, and I ended up being a homemaker. No regrets, but that's what I was for more than 20 plus years. So I started my professional journey when I was 41. Don't ask me the age now. So when I was 41, I started this, and this happened by chance. I was not looking out for a job, because 20 साल हो गए यार, मतलब अब तो नौकरी कौन ही देगा, एंड अब तो कुछ याद भी नहीं है जो पढ़ा था, and at best cloud kitchen, no, already बहुत खाना बना रही हूँ. So I've given that thoughts, I was comfortable. I have 2 sons, as Amrit mentioned, and my husband has been operating out of residence since 2001. तो मेरे पास वो work from home environment बहुत सालों से है. Now, once I went to this Everest base camp, and I had a discussion in close quarters with a gentleman. He was the jury who identified a potential in me. And after we were back from EBC, his wife reached out to me and said that we have a small HR consulting firm, and we are looking at someone to do business development. And to be honest, आपको जैसे लग रहा होगा अभी, मुझे भी उतना ही शॉक लगा था कि आई एम नॉट क्वालिफाइड इन एचआर, क्वालिफाइड इन सेल्स, एंड आई एम आस्क्ड टू सेल एचआर सर्विसेज, and I have no work experience whatsoever. But I don't know what happened. Definitely they persuaded me a lot, but I took it up as a challenge, and I told them that my house is spoiled for a 24/7 housewife, so please bear with me with my flexi hours and so, and please give me no pay for the first 3 months. Let me learn, and rest is history. Now, my LinkedIn profile got created in 2016. And from 2016 to 2019, I did everything that I advocate people to not do. Because I was just randomly, spraying and painting my prospects with the messages, and हमारी company ये करती है, ये करती है, ये करती है, randomly connecting with people, accepting random connection requests, and I was doing everything. But what I was doing right was I was engaging every single day, because we were in a B2B space. I identified that LinkedIn is a place for me to be. Now, the reason why I'm taking this time is, if a person with practically no work experience, who was so domesticated in her thoughts, I used to think in Hindi, so I used to use Google Translate to create those content pieces initially. And if I can do it, you guys have so much to share, so much to educate the people out there. And just imagine how much you can, you can give to the world. And but by sheer exchange of your thoughts, how much of an effective professional brand can you build? So if this story has touched you one bit to be very active on LinkedIn, my purpose is solved. And thank you for patient listening. To begin with, whatever we do, whether it is, this particular slide will not only help you with LinkedIn, it will help you with, going back to the drawing board in whatever sense, across social media, in your business as well. I see when I'm in the real time networking, because I was in a B2B, I attended so many networking events. I'm also hosting LinkedIn Local Thane past 4 years now. And what I fail to understand is that when you introduce yourself, either people are very succinct and the message doesn't come across powerfully, or people are all over the place. And I'm not able to understand where should I perhaps connect with the person. And that exactly happens in the LinkedIn profile as well. So clarity is of utmost importance. Now, the answers to these questions in a really, really best articulated manner will not come in the version 1. But keep iterating, and come to a conclusion where, this speaks the gist of what you do. Who do you help? So that clears out the concept of target audience. What do you help them achieve? What do you help them achieve? So it's not about if I'm selling a jewelry, what do you help them achieve? And how do you do that? You understand? So if I have to answer this question, who do you help? I help SME business owners. So my target audience is a little wide, but my niche is only LinkedIn. What do you help them achieve? Better visibility, better credibility, blah, blah, blah. How do I do that? Through one-on-one sessions, through group coaching like this, and through also corporate training if I'm invited to build employer branding and sessions like that. So these questions are the very fundamental ones that you should answer. Now, these questions, when you answer, it comes really handy to design a good LinkedIn headline, to design a good about section, where if I am your target audience and I'm going through your profile, I feel that you are my go-to person. And that's the objective that we should be able to achieve through our optimized profile, not just sticking out all the sections, but it has to make some sense to our target audience. And this is where, the journey begins. Once we have all the answers in place, create a winning profile, not just optimized. Optimized definitely is essential for the LinkedIn social selling purposes, for also having the right searchability for your profile. All those elements, definitely you need a highly optimized profile. By optimized, I mean you should cover up all the sections as much as possible. Now, but I also want you a winning profile. Winning means when you are designing the profile, bring the best of you, both from your professional acumen perspective and your persona. Stitch it together beautifully. Because if someone is reading your post, if someone is reading your profile, and then someone gets in touch with you, they should see no gap. They trusted you through the post, they got curious and visited your profile, and they eventually ended up meeting you. If there is no gap, definitely just imagine the kind of trust and credibility that you've earned. So you've won the battle halfway anyhow. Do you understand? Is that making sense to you? Give me a thumbs up if that is. Superb, superb. The basics first. I see this has not been ever taken care of. So just go back and look at your profiles. If you still have not customized it, please customize it. I would urge you to either use your name, which is the option 1, but if the name is taken, you can reverse like the way I have done, Or at best, you can use like, your company name along with your name. Now, this not only helps people to remember searchability, and it looks good. So all the components are taken care of. So basically, if you are very active on LinkedIn and you have a customized LinkedIn URL, the chances that when people Google you, your LinkedIn profile is going to throw up in their Google searches as well. So let's make the basics, done right. Now, why you need a profile photo? And I fail to understand why people do not put profile photos, because this is the first human connection that you make with the outside world as an entrepreneur. No matter how much I'm reading your profile, why, even for recruiters, etc., job, it's not relevant in this good group, but why people after looking at your resume still go and look at your LinkedIn profile? They want to make that human connection in a way. They want to understand your attitude. They want to read between lines and see. And when I say a profile photo, it is not only about a good looking photo. It is, do you think that now, after listening to me for 15 minutes, this profile photo translates my persona? Do you think that? Does it come across as someone whom you would trust to go ahead with your profile or your LinkedIn journey? This is something that I really want you to look at. And please have a smiling photo, because treat this as a networking event. आप real time networking event में अगर हैं, so you will not go ahead and tap on a shoulder which has a placard on their face, right? You would always reach out to someone who's looking eye to eye with a warm smile. Is it or is it not? So if I'm curious with your post and I'm really excited and impressed with your post, and I land up on your profile and see either a no photograph or a photograph with goggles looking the other way, how kind of, how well I would be able to connect. So please I'm not suggesting go for a professional photo. If you can, nothing like it. But if you cannot, still have a clear photo of yours smiling, looking into the camera, looking at your audience. I should feel. And when we going forward speak about different new features, you will understand why this profile is so important. And the statistics also say that if you have a profile, these are the benefits that you get in terms of your visibility. In entrepreneurship, if you're leveraging LinkedIn or any social media for that matter, the first step that you should focus on is visibility. And I see people making a mistake that they take visibility for granted because they think that by credibility will speak. How will I ever find you? Once I find you, then only the concept of credibility comes into place. So the step 1 is visibility, step 2 is credibility, and step 3 will automatically happen, which is profitability. Now, going forward, headline. The the default headline is the first work experience that you put on the LinkedIn profile. For people who are just starting, who have rated themselves 2 or below that, this is for you guys. If you have not customized your LinkedIn headline, you're missing out on so many things. Because your profile photo and your headline are the 2 things that people touch upon even before they land on your profile. For instance, if you're commenting on my post, what people will see is your profile and your headline. If you are visiting someone else's profile, people who viewed your profile, list आती है right side में, वहाँ पे क्या दिखता है? Only your profile photo and your headline, right? So if you cannot impress them with these 2, if you've not crossed that barrier, nobody is going to visit your profile. And I believe more than anything, your objective should be people visit your profile. That's the first step. They should be able to hear your story. They should be able to see your journey. And that's where our intention should be. When it comes to headline, please keep in mind what, like, there was some lady, I believe, who runs an HR community. That's what I recall in the message. So understand what are the keywords a searcher would be using in the LinkedIn search. Please, whatever keywords that you think resonates with your line of business, your expertise, utilize that. So if you go through my profile, you would see the words LinkedIn coach and consultant and personal branding used all across my profile, including the recommendations. And that actually enhances my searchability. Anybody types personal branding, my profile is likely to throw up. So this is where, link also, when I put a comment on, say, a LinkedIn news, or when I put a meaningful comment on any leadership or influencer post, if people see this headline and they are struggling to build their LinkedIn presence, they are definitely going to check out my profile. So my profile photo and LinkedIn headline are the key factors which actually helps more profile views happening. So if you see, I have illustrated here, you can take a screenshot if you wish to, the reasons why you should focus on, in the search results, when you post it on the news feed, when you send a connection request also. These are the places that people analyze you through these two elements, and then they end up landing on your profile. Now I'll come to the most important part. The other aspects of profile also I'm going to touch upon. One thing that I missed out on this slide, can you see this thing? Book a free discovery call. Can you see this?
Yeah. Yes.
Now this is a call to action. In your case, visit your profile or the contact us page of your website. Now the link leads to a Calendly link where I have given some slots for people to book a free discovery call. And trust me, this has worked magic for me, because I get almost 5 to 6, discovery calls, which we call as inbound leads. And I'm able to translate at least 40% of them, because they've already trusted me to an extent. Now, in your case, you can use this for whatever, if you have a recent product which you've launched, you can have the page link here. The message, you can choose what message you want to do. This is a display message. So I'll show you, if time permits, I'll show you how you can do this. So please, all entrepreneurs, I want you to utilize this element and have a very targeted call to action. Now, going forward, let's come to the most fundamental things of any profile is your summary. Now, entrepreneurs especially, they think that मेरी summary में क्या हो सकता है, they are so not disconnected with their own business. So whether it's finance, whether they themselves, it's all business, और वो एक ही हो जाते हैं. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So you as a person, you have some background, you have some preferences, you have some thought process, you have some vision for your business as an entrepreneur. So those elements you need to incorporate when it comes to your summary. And the first 3 lines of the summary section is what is visible to person who's scrolling your profile. So if we have really wowed them with the profile picture, headline, banner, I'm going to take it up later. So if you have covered those grounds and people are curious about you, they're going to scroll further and reach your about section to know more about you. Now, the first 3 lines will make or break whether they're going to read the full story or not, because you have a see more button. And you make sure that the first 3 lines is a summary of summary, if I may call it. So in a nutshell, now here comes the who do you help, how do you help them. So you can have some really amazing accomplishments if you have had as those 3 lines. The kind of geographies that you cater to, the impact that you've created for your clients, or if you are just beginning, you can have those answers, who do you help, how do you help them, as your first 3 lines of your summary section, because that will slate the context for your reader, for your profile visitor. So make it powerful, make it persuasive. It is important for entrepreneurs, because आपने as is लिख दिया, तो if we go by the human psychology, I'm going through your profile, I'm so invested in you, and if you have not given me a call to action, you must be seeing those landing pages where they keep telling you, go here, click that, go here, click that. Have you seen that? Now, why they do that? Because they know that the person is invested right now in you, right now in this course, right now in this webinar, or whatever it may be, a product. Now, if that is the case, similarly in your summaries or about section also, you should have, you should be persuasive enough for the person to reach out to you, connect you, or visit your profile or whatever. You need to be very precise. You cannot have, definitely the character limit is one which you will have to cater to. But besides that, the more precise you are, by precise, I do not mean that 4 line में लिख दिया आपने summary section जैसा सबका होता है. By precise, I mean that encapsulating all the milestones of you as an entrepreneur, your vision, and the way forward, your product or service, everything needs to come in that character limit. So be very precise in articulating your summary or about section, and definitely it has to be personal. By personal, I mean first language. You cannot have Shweta does this, Shweta does that. If I'm a reader and investing in your profile, I'm not able to connect with you because you're speaking in the third language. Again, the same analogy, if you're in a real-time networking event, if I welcome you with a warm smile and you come to me and I start talking like Shweta does this, Shweta does that, आपको कैसा लगेगा? Do you understand? So there has been a lot of evolving which has happened on LinkedIn. Earlier, it was only for job searches, and that's the reason, the third language was prevalent, but it is definitely not what is recommended. This is a basic template that I've put in. A brief introduction. Now, if you see in my about section also, I've just a dash of your personality also needs to be encapsulated, because you're not, just the job title that you hold. You're a person, and that connectivity will help you, make that human-to-human connection instantaneously. So if you like music or love cooking or whatever that may be, a dash of your personal life is also something that needs to be a part of your introduction. Your journey as an entrepreneur and your vision, as I mentioned earlier. Your topics. So if you're a consultant like me, your topics, your expertise, or your product or service, or maybe both, and a call to action. Now, a call to action is, if I'm going through your, invested and reading your about section completely, you would see that, there has to be a very direct message to the end user. Now, if you have a well-defined target audience, which again, clarity will give you, as I spoke earlier, then if you are an entrepreneur struggling to leverage LinkedIn to build your business, or if you're an entrepreneur who's struggling to leverage LinkedIn to get organic leads, DM me or send me an email. If I am writing this in the end, if you're an entrepreneur going through my profile, chances are that you're going to instantaneously either book a call or send me an email. So ride on the emotions of your reader and have a call to action. I would say this multiple times, call to actions all across your profile will definitely create wonders in bringing traffic to your room. Always, whichever social media that you leverage, including LinkedIn, you should focus on bringing the traffic to your room. By your room, I mean maybe your website, which is your nucleus, or in your emailing list, which you can leverage for more of cold emailing and email marketing. try and exercise on a way where you can bring those audience into your room. So I will take that further. There is something called featured section, which wasn't existing some time back. And this is the best tool that you can have to showcase your product or service, and also have very targeted call to action. Now, when I say call to action, you should always keep in mind, two kind of audiences. By two kind of audiences, I mean people who have done business with you, or who have been following you since longer time, and who trust in your brand, who trust in you. We call it as bottom line, who are on the verge of buying from you. So you're sold in their mind. And there are another set of audience who's still trying to build that trust on you. Am I making sense? So someone who has just found you, who finds you interesting, has started engaging on your posts, has found you through a reference or word of mouth, and they kind of like you, but they've not yet trusted you fully. So we call that top of the line. So for top of the line people, you can have something which is a high perceived value but low in the value. So depending upon your nature of business, you can choose what you can have, like a free demo session or free modules of your course. Or for products, you can have samples, if that can be a business proposition. These are the things that will help your top of the line gain trust in you. So in my case, for the top of the line, I have this ebook, which is priced at 147 rupees only. So it's a meager amount to pay to build that trust in me. Now, if the content which is there on this book excites them and they find it worthy, they are likely to keep on engaging on my posts and further deepen that trust. For people who have already established that trust and want to take the next step, the discovery call is there. Now, my discovery call was a call to action there itself. I'm building on my website right now. So at some point in time, instead of having two similar call to actions, I can have my website in the below the headline जो मैंने आपको दिखाया था. So आप multiple call to actions रख सकते हैं इसी तरह से design करके. Featured section is basically for, in case of entrepreneurs, should be leveraged for call to actions for people. If you also are a YouTuber, you can take people to your YouTube, or if you're an Instagrammer or whatever that may be. So you can drive people to other places through your featured section. Featured should be latest or classic. And you can keep updating whatever that you do on your profile. Please keep updating every 6 months. It is not something that you do now and it is sacrosanct. You're evolving as a person, and so your profile should. Now, in my case, I also have a content which did well and which also talks about my journey. It's not about the likes, it's also about my journey. So how content can be leveraged to get attention and leads is something that I have used here. Whenever I conduct my detailed master classes, which are either a weekend one or a 4-hour one, I put that also here because I want to sell those tickets. So ऐसे आप leverage कर सकते हैं featured section को. Now, 3 pillars of LinkedIn growth. Clarity, we have already spoken quite a few. Do you think that if you have amazing clarity as to who you're speaking to, what you want to showcase, like for instance, in my case, there were a lot of leads that came my way talking about, generating paid leads. I know a thing or two about it, but that's not my area of operation as of now. So I either connected them with other people, or I told them, no, that this is not something that I do. Now, this clarity initially pinches you when you're starting your business because aapko sara business acha hi lagta hai. But the more you remain true to your niche, the better you're going to build your business. So this clarity gave me that strength. Also, if I have this clarity whenever I am writing a post on LinkedIn, and content is something we can take in detail in future sessions if there is a demand, then I know that okay, entrepreneurs and CXOs is what my niche is. So what does a CXO look for when he's trying to be active on LinkedIn? What does an entrepreneur look for when he or she is trying to build a strong personal brand on LinkedIn? Now, these thoughts just help me write a content which is relatable to them. So that is where, clarity. Also, clarity with respect to how do you wish to project yourself. So if essentially I am a person who is a 20-year-old girl, very chirpy, very vibrant, my posts will showcase that. And it should. As I said, when someone reads your post, reads your profile and connects with you, usko culture shock nahi hona chahiye. Do you understand what I'm saying? With content, I do not mean that only the post that you write. Any piece of content that you write on LinkedIn, I treat it as content. By that, I mean, if you're commenting on someone's post, just up for the heck of it, mat kariye. Because kahin pe bhi, jo bhi, anything and everything that you're doing on LinkedIn, you are showcasing your professional brand. That is a representation that is happening on social media or on LinkedIn per se. So be mindful. So whatever comment that you're putting, whatever messaging that you're sending, whatever that you're writing on your profile, anything and everything that is written on LinkedIn, please treat it as a piece of content. You give so much thought while writing a post, but do you give as much thought while writing all the other stuff? So that's where, also not just about writing, consuming. What content are you consuming? Is it helping you build your business? For instance, if I am commenting on someone's post whose audience is similar to my audience, do you think if I make a meaningful comment on that post, which showcases my subject expertise, do you think that those people who have liked and commented on that post, कई influencers हैं जिनके 1000 likes आती हैं, comments आते हैं, right? If you make an impactful comment there, you must have seen cases where the content has 1000 likes and the comment has 100 likes. Have you seen that? And just try and do that meaningfully, and you see the profile views spiking up. And not just profile views, relevant profile views. Conversations. By conversations, again, the post that you write should not be a vanilla post or Google se uthaya hua gyan. People are not looking at that. People are looking at as if you are communicating with them. So post be conversational honi chahiye nature mein. When you are sending a message, personalize that. My master class is coming up, blah, 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 blah. I have a templatized message and I'm sharing with everyone in my connection request. Instead, I'm sharing, hey, hi Radhika, how are you doing? I saw your post the other day, blah, blah, liked it, and just hosting this masterclass. I know the number of messages will be less, but the translation of this message into a lead is going to be much higher. So please try and converse on LinkedIn, reach out to people and start communicating with them rather than just selling. लोगों को लगता है ये तो time waste है, नहीं है. Just imagine those networking meets that you have attended where you've invested in genuinely conversing with a person without bothering कि मेरे को business मिलेगा या नहीं. I'm sure 8 out of 10 cases, you would have got some lead or some referral or some idea from there. And places where you've just shared your visiting cards and gone away, has they ever translated? So this is something that we need to bring in. The power of 3Cs, when I've already spoken about it, but just tried to capture in this slide, is clarity about yourself, what your objective is. Kai entrepreneurs are not here to have their personal profile convert into organic leads. Because if you're running big businesses, like I have a client who's a CTO of a robotic company. Now his idea is that I am hiring really good talent, which is rare in India, with the subject matter expertise that I have. And when I'm hiring, people look up to the leadership of that company. And when they are looking up to the leadership, is the employer branding powerful enough? So the objective is different. So once we understand what our objective is, basis which we design everything else. So in his featured section, if he has spoken at a delegation, that will be highlighted rather than a call to action of translating into business, because his business is not a B2C. His business is B2B, and that too of a large scale. So clarity, content, and conversation is something that will definitely help you build your LinkedIn journey in a more powerful manner. The strategy that you should focus on, I see many people doing either or. And I would like to touch upon how much time do we have in hand. Just taking a... I think I should be able to complete it by 6:30. So should we take the Q&A after that, or how do we do that? Will that be okay with the people in the room? Please, any response will be helpful. Okay. Yes. Oh, brilliant. I love this audience. So thank you so much. So the strategy is, please do not do this either or thing. By either or, I mean push means you even if you're doing it in a very strategic manner, reaching out to your target audience, identifying them, searching them. See, what you do in network or connection strategy, again, is a big piece which we can cover in any of the forthcoming sessions, or you can connect with me in person. But I just wanted to capture this, that please do not, I see people commenting on other people's posts. I see people liking other people's posts. I see people connecting with relevant audience or sometimes just random audience. You're doing a push strategy where you're announcing to the world that, hey, I exist and this is what I do. But there is no pull strategy. And by pull strategy, I mean that how do you build that, move from visibility to credibility. So I don't see people writing meaningful comment, which is, again, as I told, content, or writing meaningful posts, which showcases their knowledge, which showcases their experience. So if I have to talk about a LinkedIn banner, aisa hona chahiye banner, so I will not just say aisa hona chahiye banner. I will say that, I was recently having a session with entrepreneurs and we discussed, if you have, product or service, this kind of banner would be more helpful. Or if you have this can be, do you understand what I'm doing here? I'm personalizing my content. I am suggesting people that, hey, I do take sessions. I am someone who is passionately working with entrepreneurs. These are the messaging, underlying messaging that I'm also sharing while sharing the message of how a LinkedIn banner should be. Now, the latest LinkedIn features and LinkedIn hacks, I will take you live and cover that. So creator mode, if you're really focused on building a personal brand and taking it to the next level, content is something that you should be focusing in, which is where creator mode comes into play. Profile video, now you have a 30-second profile video. So for all trainers and coaches, I highly recommend, because when you are speaking, your voice, your throw, your presence, people can get a taste of it. It is like sampling. Do you understand? So you can use it to the best level, go and look out for some good profile videos that are out there. Bell icon is something that if you come across good influencer who has a similar audience and the person is very consistent with the content, you press the bell icon on their profile so that you start getting their content on your newsfeed, and the more number of times you will be able to engage. You will not be finding it right away when you start your journey. These are the manners in which you customize your news. कभी आपको लगता है ना आपने LinkedIn खोला बहुत irrelevant posts आ रही हैं, because you are not focusing on engaging on people, the posts which are relevant to you. The moment you start doing it, LinkedIn understands that this is what interests you. Name pronunciation is something also that people use it. This has come before the profile video came, and this can also be a game changer when it comes to if you have global audience. So the manner in which some people just use it to pronounce name, the way I have used it, it is just an audio of mine. So hey, I am Shweta Ojha, I do this. So I have an audio there, not just pronouncing my name. You can use it for the same. Analytics is something that you should be very closely observing, because that is something that anchors, are you going in the right direction or not? And we will take it up if time permits. These are very basic ones. I don't know whether I should be taking it up in great detail. Other than the profile basics that I have covered today, which are like really critical and crucial, I would still urge you to take care of all the profile sections such as work experience and so many people say that मेरे previous work experience का अभी कोई link नहीं है तो मैं क्यों डालूं? पर अगर मैंने previous work experience में teams manage करी हैं तो as an entrepreneur I have built a skill set. If I am tagging my previous companies, the previous employees of these companies, immediately when they are searching through the company, if my profile is highly engaging, it is likely to show up. So why not? My question is, करने से कोई नुकसान तो हो नहीं रहा है, फायदा ही हो रहा है. Why not? I see people not mentioning their school names, where people are like, for instance, if I found your profile and I saw you came from the same school, do you think I will instantly have a connect or a trust? Just because we are from same school, hoga ki nahi hoga? Yes or yes? So this is where I would want you to please leverage all your sections and have a highly optimized profile. Don't self-promote. Yes, do self-promote at times with client testimonial, social proofs, etc. I'm not saying don't do that. But every single post, every single action on LinkedIn should not be focused on doing that. So this is something which I would call as do's and don'ts. I'll quickly take you to the live part. So guys, I don't know whether you see this analytics. I have a premium. I would not suggest that you right away go with premium. If you are active on LinkedIn, you have a highly optimized profile, premium for 1,700 a month, if that is affordable to you, brings to you a lot more than you think it is. So the choice is up to you. But they give you 1 month free trial. If you have not leveraged it, don't go right away. First, create a base and be ready to optimize that free trial to the fullest. Be mindful of the dates, because you लोग automatically charge करते हैं. So you can experiment with the free trial and see if the premium is useful to you. Why I'm saying is कि क्या features इसमें दिख रहे हैं हमको, वो premium profile में दिखेंगे. Now, this is one aspect that I wanted to showcase to you, which we call as service page. For entrepreneurs, it is very relevant. For trainers and coaches also, it is very relevant. Now, if you see here, this leads to the service page. I have got quite a few leads from my service page. Now, if you see here, if you land on my profile, if you go here, I will show you, मेरी profile में नहीं दिखेगा. I'll show you someone else's profile. How people use it. Okay, so you see here providing services. If you go here, she's a leadership coach. You see request proposal. Now, the basis what you have written in your profile, etc. These are not the questions which are drafted by Sandhya. These are questions which are by LinkedIn itself. Now, if I say strategies that I'm looking at, if I say I'm looking at for myself, so these are very qualifying questions. And if you understand once you receive this lead, how filtered it is already. Now, these are the questions that I am answering. If I'm just showing you, I can have a very customized message as to what I'm looking at. 25 characters are mandatory. You cannot leave it blank. So what are your goals? Blah, 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 blah. And continue. Now, if I press continue, this will be received by Sandhya in her message. You see the message will come something like this. So I want you to focus on this service page also. Otherwise, you're leaving an opportunity on the table just like that. So please do that. She's also invested in a profile video, as I suggested. She's a coach, so she has invested in the profile videos. I have not covered the banner in great detail because of the paucity of time, but banner is something that is also utilized in her case in a beautiful way. The message is very clear ki aap kya karte ho, and she's a coach, so her signature programs are here. In my case, my banner is a reflection of my personality, so I've used it in a different manner. When I have my master classes, I redesign my manner and say that, okay, the masterclass link, I will put it here. Masterclass link is in the featured section below, and I can have a very well directed banner here. While I'm talking about service page, there's one more thing that I wish to cover. Sorry, Suranjika, if I'm getting a little overboard, so I'm worried about that.
No, that's okay, Shweta.
Okay, great. So this is something, can you see here? We can take our customer reviews also. So we can also add media. So if you have pictures of your products also, you can add here in the service page. And this in itself can become a, your LinkedIn profile in totality can become a good landing page, convincing landing page. So this is something, if you've not leveraged your service page enough, please do that. You can also link your website in your service page. So write your company page in your service page, sorry, not the website. So you see here, my company page is linked here. You can use media, as I mentioned, you can use, so these are things pending from my end, but you can use it. So instantaneous credibility is there in terms of, what do you offer? The analytics piece, creator mode ये रहा. आप जैसे ही creator mode on करते हैं, वो आपको 4 total maximum 5 you can add. The hashtags or the topics that you are going to talk about on LinkedIn. And these topics will be definitely in line with your expertise and the business that you are in. So choose those hashtags which has more followers and which you are able to relate with. So pick a combination of that. Once you have put the creator mode on, your connect will translate into follow by default. So people can only follow you or connect with you in the other manner. And you will have these 3 events available to you. Earlier, one had to apply and it was a difficult process. Now LinkedIn, focusing more on creators, because hardly 2% of LinkedIn users create. Create means write posts, etc. Analytics is something that I would want you to focus. So as I said, if you meaningfully start engaging, this is something that you will see a spike. Now 3 दिन से मैंने post नहीं किया तो ये down 27% है. but ये 132% अब भी हो जाता है. Can you see the graph here? Now, isme, since I am doing paid past 90 days, who has visited my profile? Now, someone who's visited my profile, can I just send a message that I saw you visiting my profile? I went through your profile and I believe, these are the places that I can perhaps help you with. How targeted this messaging can be and how fast can you translate, it into business? The next thing that I was pending is, एक मिनट मैंने बंद कर दी window. LinkedIn hacks. Are you aware? Anybody is already aware about the LinkedIn hacks, group hacks, etc.? Anybody who knows about it already? No. Okay, great. So I will quickly share what these hacks, what I mean by these hacks. So if you're visiting anyone's profile, you would see, there was can someone give me a keyword? Shall I take HR for convenience sake? So I'll take HR for as a keyword. Okay, किसी ने कुछ type किया. So if HR is your keyword, any else keyword that anybody can just put a shout out so that I don't need to go back and forth.
What kind of keyword are you looking for?
Any business expertise, that area of expertise or business line of business.
Can we have marketing?
Marketing. Okay, brilliant. So marketing as the keyword. What hack that I wish to share here is, if you put these hacks in your keyword, one way of doing it is put these keywords in the search bar and go and look for groups. You have different groups that are available. You can be part of these groups which make sense to you, because there people with similar businesses or similar nature would hang out. So you can take a lot of collaboration happening. You can also look at from your target audience standpoint, also put in keywords. Like if your target audience is a manufacturing unit, you can look at that and look for groups so that your target audience is there. Now, by the hack, I mean that once you reach to the group, you see these, I'm already part of this group. You can see that. Now you see these many are members. And if I see show all, if you see closely, these are second connections and third connections, which means I am not directly connected with them. Now, if you are willing to reach out, one standard procedure is you go to their profile, you send a connection request, wait for them to connect with you, and so on and so forth. The other way is you can directly message them from the group. So if you both are part of the same group, you can message it directly without using the premium. So this is one hack that you can easily locate your target audience and connect with them even without using the paid one. Also, if you come across someone's profile and you wish to connect with them, and if they have the settings where you need their emails, etc., this hack comes very handy. Similarly, when you're using marketing as you go to events, there are a lot of online events and free events which are happening. If there's something that interests you, definitely other people would also have an interest in that topic. So if I see LinkedIn here, I know that the audience is willing to know something about LinkedIn. So they are my target audience, yes or yes. Now, if I say attend, I can connect, I can, once I say attend, and then I can immediately tap into these audiences and send them the message directly, as I can do it in the groups. So this is a way around for not waiting for them to accept the connection requests and also tapping into your target audience more easily. So these are the two hacks that I wanted to show you. I have covered the analytics, the group hacks and events, group hacks and the event hack. Now what is left is I'm here for any questions if we have time. So, and this is where you can reach out to me. This is my email address, connect@shwetaojha.com. You can reach out to me here if you wish to go on a one-on-one consulting. I do help entrepreneurs and CXOs, as I have already mentioned. And you can definitely, you should, I would love to have more connections.
Shout out, I want to give you a shout out for giving those 2 hacks because unless you pay LinkedIn, उसमें भी limited आपको chance मिलता है message करने का लोगों को. So you are not allowed to message people who you're not connections with, and that too I think top 5 people you can message max. So I didn't know this workaround. Thank you so much.
Oh, अगर आपको कुछ पता चला है तो definitely I have scored well. And one word of caution, guys, when entrepreneurs, I have had a friend of mine who had got her LinkedIn profile blacklisted. So whenever you are starting your journey, don't go overboard with sending connection requests every single day, because you will come under radar. लोगों को लगेगा कि आप spam हो. So even if you're genuinely doing it, unnecessarily you'll end up in problem. So be a little, tread slowly is what I would recommend. This just came to my mind and I wanted to. Can this also be added to company pages? What can be added to company pages?
So this was in the context of services जो personal profile में add होता है. So Pankti was asking about, can this be done for the company pages as well, adding the services and all those.
See, company pages definitely is meant for that, showcasing what your service offerings are, and definitely you should have a call to action to which leads to your website, etc. But you can link the company page, as I have mentioned already, in the service page, so that you can have people viewing the company page through your, one way of doing it is when they are scrolling your profile, आप founder of that company है और आपका company page है, so automatically people are going to go and visit. But the second way is if someone service pages are accessible to even third connections. People are not connected to you. So they can also go through your company page if you have it linked there. There's a hand raised there, Juhi.
Shweta, I want to know, on your profile, you had a logo of your university. How did you pull that off?
This was very easy. 1 minute. ऐसे easy सवाल पूछा करो अब मैं बहुत खुश हो जाती हूँ.
I'm gonna make life easy for you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Give me a second here. I'm just so. Today is one of those days where I'm. Can you see the screen is getting shared or not?
Yes, we can see the metaverse thing.
Okay. So आपको simple करना है जूही, बट ये आप तभी कर सकते हो जब आप जिस भी एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट या जिस भी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को टैग, उनका कंपनी पेज होना चाहिए लिंक्डइन पे. अगर उनका कंपनी पेज नहीं है तो लोगो नहीं आए. Do you understand? Does that answer your question? And how can you perhaps do it is simply यहाँ पे जाना, आपको edit करना है, और यहाँ पे आप जब edit करोगे तो आप जब नाम टाइप करोगे अपने कंपनी का, तो वो कंपनी ड्रॉप डाउन में ये जैसे आ रहा है, because the company page exists. When you are writing whichever educational institute or company that you want to put here, if the company page does not exist, it drop down में नहीं आएगा, which means you will not be able to get the logo on the profile. Does that answer your question, Juhi? Okay, great. If you can write about 2-3 key takeaways from this session, that will make it more genuine. So this is something that will be a request from my
Of course, for whatever good knowledge sharing that has happened today, you 100% deserve this review. I would love to मैं सबसे पहले मैं ही लिखने वाला हूँ, तो आप प्लीज मुझे भेज दीजिए आपका वो लिंक. I'll share it. I'll be more than happy to share it across the group for all the people who have attended your session today. Immense value add.
Thank you so much, Amrit.